This is fantastic. Who made this?
Some Canadian experimental filmmaker called Arthur Lipset. It's called 2187.
Wow, this is having a profound influence on me.
Many people feel that in sort of the contemplation of nature and in communication with other living things, they become aware of some kind of force or something behind this apparent mask, which we see in front of us. And they call it God, or they, depending on their particular disposition. To the question...
You mean feelings or thoughts?
Of
some aspect of it?
Of some aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, is not the same thing as a world full of human beings. There's something gone, there's something missing.
And then the people say, well, this is good, let's have more of it. And somebody walks up and you say, your number's 2187, isn't it? Boy, does that person really smile.
That's the kind of film I want to make. Experimental films, underground films.
You're on the wrong side of town. Now give us all your money.
Hey, leave him alone.
You saved my life.
You have to be careful these days.
Do I know you?
Possibly. I'm Joseph Campbell. I wrote a study of comparative mythology called The Hero with 1,000 Faces, in which I explore the monomyth of the hero's quest.
Wow. Tell me more.
Well, basically, I discovered that if you analyze all the world's mythology, you can condense it down to a single powerful narrative, which breaks down into 12 elements and tells the story of a hero who goes on a quest and triumphs over his enemies to find happiness.
Man, that's incredible. Have you seen 2187? You've got to see it, Francis. It's doing something totally new, Like he takes this found footage, and it's not like he makes a new meaning out of it. It's more like he's found the secret hidden meaning that was always there. It's spiritual. If Lipset was working in Paris or Berlin, he would be hailed as a genius.
I mean, that's it, George. We have the filmmakers, but we don't have the freedom. In Europe, there's no money, but they're free. Here we got money, the studios, the establishment, but it's all dead. All the faceless executives, the unions, the vast Hollywood empire has to be swept away. I'm talking about a revolution, an independent cinema of independent makers.
I know he's right, but I've tried working outside the system. They hated THX 11-38. They wanted something popular, but I still can't get a distribution deal for American Graffiti. There must be a way to break out, to use the power of the Hollywood system against itself. That's it, of course. But is it possible? Is it possible to use Campbell's hero monomyth as a narrative?
George, let me be honest. American Graffiti is the most exciting film I've seen in years. I want you to come and work with us at Fox.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Ladd.
What are you working on now?
Well, I've got this idea for a science fiction movie.
You mean like 2001 or Planet of the Apes?
No, this would be a fantasy adventure for teenagers. Like the old movie serials. It's called The Star Wars.
Intriguing.
The hero is a young man who goes on a quest and triumphs over his enemies to find happiness.
Fabulous. I'll have a contract drawn up tomorrow.
With astounding agility, old Ben's laser sword sparks to life, and in a flash, an arm lies on the floor. The rodent is cut in two, and the giant, multiple-eyed creature lies double, cut from chin to groin. Ben carefully and precisely turns off his laser sword and replaces it on his utility belt.
Congratulations, George. American Graffiti is a hit. The kids love it. The studios will be fighting to hire you. But if you do stay with us, we're willing to raise your director's fee to $500,000.
I don't care about the money. It's the movie I care about. You keep the fee, but I want the copyrights, the rights to the sequels, and all the merchandise.
Fine. It's a deal.
So, all he wants is the rights and merchandise?
It doesn't matter. We just go along with this space war garbage. Let him get it out of his system. Meanwhile, we line up another American Graffiti for next year.
And you really think he's that good?
He's young, but there's something there. A power which we can use.
Back up! You gotta move back! That's it. There are laser strikes all around you. Jesus! You have to react with more fear, more panic. We're going to put the lasers in as an effect later. Jesus! Cut! Set it up again.
I'm so hot in this plastic. What is this shit? Fucking Nazis in space with a giant fucking dog. It's embarrassing.
It's not a dog. It's not a fucking dog, all right. It's not a dog. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. None of it makes sense. The crew hate me. The lighting sucks. I have to fight for every frame.
You can do it, George. You've just got to have faith in yourself. Let all that shit go. I know you can do it.
You're right. I've just got to find the inner strength. I've got to follow my own path.
You did it, George. Alan sent me the figures. Star Wars took $410 million at the box office as of last week. What are you going to do now?
I'm going totally independent. I'm going to finance and produce all my own films.
The American New Wave. All those experimental films we dreamed of?
Yes. But first I want to finish the Star Wars trilogy. There's so much more to the story, and I owe it to the fans.
You won't regret this, George. It's time you moved on, to do the things you've always dreamed of, all the things you meant to do, all those years ago. Think of all the independent experimental films you can make with $4 billion, and with the stock options that will soon rise to over $10 billion.
in sort of the contemplation of nature and in communication with other living things, they become aware of some kind of force or something behind this apparent mask, which we see in front of us. And they call it God, or they, depending on their particular disposition. To the question...
You mean feelings or thoughts? Of some aspect of it.
Of some aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, is not the same thing as a world full of human beings. There's something gone, there's something missing.
And then the people say, well, this is good, let's have more of it. And somebody walks up and you say, your number's 2187, isn't it?